If Iraq is going to be the financial savior of the world, according to Jamie Dimon, then it may have to have a higher rate than Kuwait. Sadoni said the dinar would go back to its former glory, and would be the most valuable currency in the world. He also said the revaluation would be done by Victory Day, which is December 10th. We got one piece of intel, one piece, but it might be all we need, and here's how it went. We did speak to someone who is at a redemption center. This person said that they were told that they were waiting for the US, the new US Treasury, to make an announcement from the new US Treasury and the email from Wells Fargo, both of those to happen within next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It could happen anytime those 3 days, or it might take all the way to Friday. Let's see where we stand at that point. High inflation, debt, terrorism, parliament, the auctions, they were the reasons for a program rate but not any longer. The 7.3% increase in Iraqi private banks is because of the success of the monetary reform education. Iraqi citizens are once again trusting your banks, and that was very important for the security and stability of your new exchange rate that is coming to you. A turning point for fiscal policies. What after the cancellation of the dollar traffic monitoring platform? Quote, this decision is expected to lead to fundamental changes in financial transfer mechanisms and a direct impact on the exchange rates and financial stability. Be careful. Every time somebody ready exchange rate in articles, they don't pump you up full of hopium and mislead you. I don't want them going, oh my god, they're getting ready to make the change. Because that's not the case. 2024 budget hasn't been exposed just yet. We are waiting to see if they can expose it. I think they have some legal and technical issues. We're at that stage where for them to receive the 2025 budget they need the final accounts for the 23 and 24. Question: are we waiting for the Iraq census to be finished? I believe it starts on the 20th or so and goes for several days. Marks: I have not heard we have to wait for the census to be done. I have another contact who believes things will be wrapped up in the next 7 days. I hope for sooner rather than later. Unprecedented. Iraq prepares to launch a group of investments worth $250 billion. Quote, Iraq is preparing to launch a wide range of projects with the aim of attracting investments worth up to $250 billion over the next 2 years, in an unprecedented move in the country. I got the billboards in the banks, but you know they're already in place. Everything is electrical. These are TV screens. They are already in place in our banks. I got them in my banks. Your question was about billboards in banks. No, we call those posters. They will have pictures and descriptions, yes. I told you to construct your team. I told you your team is waiting for you at the bank, anyways. Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan, whatever it may be. Saadi Ahmed Bure, the census should have been carried out after the implementation of Article 140 after HCL. Has it already been implemented? Am I missing something? I think they are telling us something. I have no doubt Trump is going to want to do this, a peace in the Middle East deal with Sadoni, as quickly as possible, so it shouldn't take very long for us to finally start to hear what it is that Trump has in mind with Sadoni and Iraq, what they're going to offer Iraq. What does this mean for the Iraqi dinar? This means the currency is going to be stable, and once it's stable and they're not worried about inflation, then we might see the deletion of the zeros coming up here shortly, and then followed by a new denomination of Iraqi dinars, new currencies without the zeros on them. Then we'll definitely see the exchange rate change. China no longer hides its desire to control the oil fields in Iraq, taking advantage of the withdrawal of Western companies from some fields, in addition to competing with several Chinese companies in the licensing rounds that Iraq announces from time to time, whether oil or gas. and trying to obtain the areas announced by the Ministry of Oil even if they return with small profits. In return, Iraq is trying to keep European and American companies to develop its oil and gas fields, considering that these companies have extensive experience and advanced capabilities in the field of energy and are able to raise Iraq's oil and gas capabilities. Western companies develop society. Former Oil Minister Ihsan Abdul Jabbar told Shafaq news agency, "The real investment that produces real value for the country, develops society and people, and raises the level of work ethics is what Western companies do." He added that companies of other nationalities are good at work but do not meet all these requirements, noting that the ministry is trying to bring the best companies capable of creating a good social and work environment, and implementing projects at the cheapest prices and with the highest return. Iraq seeks to attract investments, especially from American and European companies, in the associated gas sector in order to reduce gas flaring and boost production. Self-sufficiency.